Wait. You watch YouTube videos while you're playing video games?
Yes.
Your attention span must be fucked.
It really is, yeah.
All right,
Oh,
but
and
are you
that that's
ready?
that that's not even all of it. I used to watch Netflix or other shows or anime or whatever while playing video games while listening to music.
Yeah, you're just trying to distract yourself from the inevitable onslaught of death,
Yes.
essentially. Anyway, okay, so this is Sadbox episode 6, I think, and I'm here with Alexi. Are you fine with me using your real name?
I don't mind.
Okay. And Alexi isn't my first fan. He's not the first person to join the Discord, but he is probably the fan who has given me the most money over time. So that makes him important to me.
What is that really all I am to you?
A cash pig, yes, and you know it, Daddy.
That's fine.
No. You're my favorite fan as long as you don't tell anyone
True.
else. Because then they're going to corroborate the stories and realize that I've told them all that they all are my favorite fan.
Yeah, but you really mean it with me, so it's different.
Yeah, it's
Anyways,
it's genuine
moving
with
on.
you. Yeah. Everyone else,
Moving on.
it's bullshit. But
Yeah.
what's going on with your sleep schedule, man? You went to sleep at like 7.
Okay, so somehow I kind of like fixed it for a while
Mhm.
because I think it's because like I've been eating way too much, and like when you eat, you get like all foggy and tired,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, because people put chloroform in your food. Yeah, I understand.
True. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, but yeah. So I've been like just sleeping a lot at like the right times, and then last night I just wasn't tired, and I ended up going to bed at like, yeah, 7ish.
So you weren't tired, so you ended up listening to music while listening to a podcast while playing a video game while like being filleted. I understand the process.
Something like that. Yeah.
It's rough though, because like when you try to fix your sleep schedule, you sort of have to either stay awake long enough to make yourself fall asleep on time the next day, so you're just pulling an
Mm-hmm.
all-nighter, or you have to somehow force yourself to fall asleep 5 hours earlier than you usually do, which typically involves just drinking a lot, which isn't
Honestly,
recommended.
I really like could just go to bed early because I have like sleeping pills
Mhm.
that I always forget to use.
Because you're
And
so busy using them on other people.
Shh,
Okay, got it. We can
yeah,
talk about that later.
yeah, not on a public podcast. Thank you very much.
Yeah, public as in like what? 8 people? 8 people watch this. It's
That's a
because
good
I watch
point.
it. I watch it like 5 times at least. Just because I'm that obsessed with myself. So that accounts for most of the
Yeah, that
views.
does sound like you. Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, like I because I watch it while I'm editing it, then watch it again while I'm
Yeah.
editing it, and then I watch it when it goes up, and then watch it from all my other different accounts. So you know how it is.
Yeah, you gotta boost those views.
Exactly.
I can respect that.
You wish you could be as obsessed with yourself as I am.
I really do.
I mean, it's honestly better to have a god complex than to have crippling depression.
Why not both?
Do you believe in God?
I'm. I don't know how you pronounce it.
Stupid.
Hmm?
Stupid. It was a dumb
I
joke.
mean, yeah, yeah. I mean it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
But I think it's agnostic.
Yeah. So you don't know whether or not you believe in a
Yeah,
God.
and I don't feel confident. Like I feel like saying that you know for sure is just being full of yourself.
Yeah, because how can you know something like that? And even most religious people aren't supposed to know. That's like the entire point of faith.
Mm-hmm.
Like anyone who's religious who says, "Yeah, I 100% believe in God," is sort of missing the point of having
Well,
faith.
it there's a difference between saying you believe in God and saying you know there's a God.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Like one of the things that comes to mind is like how the contradictory nature of like acceptance towards everyone and then like the hatred towards uh homosexuality.
The Old Testament is so much different from the New Testament. It's
Hmm.
wild. Because Jesus was all about like, yeah, like let's eat with prostitutes. Hint hint. And the Old Testament was more just, if you wear cloth and cotton and polyester at the same time, fuck you. Like basically if you're alive, like you don't deserve to exist.
Hmm.
But Jesus was on the
That's
complete end of the spectrum. And it's
yeah,
weird to think that both of those ideals are in the same book.
and I think that in order to be a like I feel kind of I feel like I'm not really the best person to be saying this, but I don't think you can be a good Christian if you think that the Old Testament and the New Testament hold the same value.
Right, right. Because the entire point of the New Testament is to basically get rid of the Old Testament.
Yeah,
Like
it's a
Jesus died
better.
on the cross for our sins, so therefore we don't have to worry about everything in Genesis and Exodus and Leviticus telling us that you have to sacrifice a lamb every time you think about murdering someone.
Hmm.
Because that way no one gets into heaven. Because how do you live your life like that,
Yeah.
Because apparently back before Jesus supposedly died on the cross for our sins, uh, thinking about sinning was just as bad as sinning. So like if I think about fucking my neighbor's wife, which obviously I'm gonna do that, I might as well have fucked my neighbor's wife. And if I have to sacrifice a lamb every time I sin, do I really have to sacrifice a lamb every time I think about fucking my neighbor's wife? How is
That's
that?
gonna be a lot of lambs.
Yeah, like the person who owned the lambs back then was definitely just like, oh yeah, let's just write that in there real quick, and I'll have a monopoly on lambs. People will be coming every single day just to make sure they get up to the good place. Have you watched that show, The Good Place?
I have, yeah.
Dude, super good, right?
Yeah, I really liked it.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I understand like why they went in the direction they did, but I enjoyed the first season more than the rest.
I think it's because the first season was simpler. Like,
But also, like rewatch, I rewatched the first season and rewatching it, knowing what comes next, like it makes it even better.
did you
And
figure it out earlier on that The Good Place was
I
actually the bad place? Spoiler alert. We're just gonna spoil the show, so.
I did, but that's not because I'm smart. It's just because I would like someone told me.
Oh, okay. Well, that's lame on their part then.
I no, because I don't care about spoilers. I don't really care like what a show does. I want to see how they do it.
I think it's if a show still holds up, even if you know how it ends, that's how you know it's a good show.
Yeah.
Like I recently finished watching Avatar: The Last Airbender, despite it
Yeah.
being around for 10 years. Yeah, yeah, I know I was
Uh,
in the server just talking mad love about it.
mm-hmm.
But I
It's
had
such a
spent
good
the
show.
yeah, it really really is because I had spent the last 10 years like seeing all the memes, basically knowing how it ends, knowing that Zuko goes through a redemption arc, knowing what
So
each
you
character
you
goes
hadn't
through.
watched it before?
When it first came out, I watched like 3 or 4 episodes. One of them was The Great
Okay.
Divide, which is apparently the worst episode. So, and
Which
that was
one?
like when The Great Divide, the one where they're in the canyon and they're with the two different Earth tribes, and
Oh
one of them's curvy and one of them's square.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that
do agree that's not the best episode. It's
yeah
not
that
bad
episode was.
though.
It's not
Like
bad.
every episode in Avatar feels like they have a purpose.
Mhm.
Even the fucking recap episode's good. How like
Oh, the play, yeah.
making a good recap episode is like such an oxymoron. I think that the main reason that Avatar was such a good show is that it wasn't a story driven show. It was a character driven show.
Mhm.
But they also like managed to lay out a really good story and a really good setting, and actually a really like simple setting for the characters to just thrive in. Like you don't have to focus on the setting because the setting is really simple. There's four nations. The Fire Nation's bad. Let's destroy the Fire Nation, or let's attack the Fire Lord and restore peace. It's a really simple setting, and
Yeah,
it's the same for the story. It's just like there are a few like detours along the way, but it doesn't really change much from we have to go to the Fire Nation and
yeah.
deal with the Fire Lord,
It's
and
very
that's it.
straightforward. And
And
what
that
a
lets the writers focus on the characters a lot more, and they just managed to do such good work, especially with Zuko and Iroh, in my opinion.
honestly, Zuko and Iroh are the best characters. Iroh because
Yeah,
he is such a pillar of strength, and Zuko because he has that journey. And even in the first episodes of season one, before he became good, you can see that he still had a good heart, like deep
yeah,
down.
but honestly, Zuko was a really annoying character early on.
It was a mixture of him being ineffective at his job, like one of the reasons that I loved Azula so much as a villain was because the show actually let her be good at being a villain. Like whenever Zuko went up against Aang and the others, I never really felt that scared for them. But when Azula went up against
Mhm.
them, that's when I was like, okay, I
Yeah.
genuinely don't know whether what's going to happen. We should probably talk about something else other than Avatar.
Why though? It's such a good subject.
That's fair, but I I don't want people to hop in here and be like, wait, are they just going to talk about this for the rest of the
Uh,
episode?
all right. All right, true. Well, you're the podcast man, so do the thing.
How many roommates do you have?
I have one roommate. He's 10 years older than me.
Wait, how old are you?
I'm 20.
You're living with a 30-year-old?
Yeah.
That's not like a huge age difference, but at the same time, it sort of is.
Yeah, it's like we met like on Kijiji,
What's Kajuju?
which it's a Canadian. It's like it's a marketplace where you can advertise stuff that you want to sell, and then people like come to your place and they buy it.
Oh, but so Craigslist, but fewer
Yes,
murders.
yes.
Okay.
Craigslist, but less sketchy, kind of.
Yeah, the Canadians will apologize when they do something sketchy.
Yeah. So all the usual stuff that happens on Craigslist, like people stealing your wallet or whatever.
But they
They're,
leave
they're
like a
just they're gonna do it, but then they're gonna apologize.
yeah, they leave like a bottle of maple syrup behind. It's like the
uh,
calling mark. I had a customer come in to work. Well, obviously I had a customer come into work. That's what customers do. That's what my workplace does. We have customers come in, but I was helping him out, and it was a 10-second interaction. Here's how it went. I'm putting bacon up, and it says, "Oh, sorry. Let me just reach up here real quick. Oh, sorry. Goodbye." And I said, "Are you Canadian?" And it's like, "Oh, sorry. Yes." He literally said sorry 3 times in
okay, I can actually relate to that a lot, but
in 10 seconds. And guess what type of bacon he got?
maple bacon.
Yep,
I
the
mean, to
most
be fair,
Canadian.
why would you not get maple bacon?
That is true. Like, don't fuck around with just original or low sodium or hickory or applewood. Go straight for the maple.
Yeah, like why not? It's the best one.
Mhm. Honestly, just I know it's a meme to like bacon, so I'm not going to go into an entire thing. But it's just so good. Like you're able to render out the fat. Like you put the bacon on the pan and it like sizzles up, and all the fat like juices out, and then that's what you're able to cook your eggs in. You're cooking in bacon fat. Like what a wonderful world we live in, where we're able to do that.
True, but that also requires effort. So fuck that.
Are you too depressed to cook lately?
Defined lately.
So since you burst forth from your mother's pussy, have you been too depressed to cook for yourself?
It hasn't been exactly that long.
No, not since your birth.
I'd say for about 15 years.
So once you were 5, that's when you realized you were going to die, and everything went downhill from there.
Okay, for real though, like I was actually depressed in like second grade, third grade, third
Yeah,
grade.
it's weird because you don't realize it when you're that young because you
I
don't have
did.
enough.
I
Did you
did
really?
realize it. I came home like actively wanting to kill myself.
Wow, that's intense. But I'm glad you're still with us somehow. So,
Yeah.
so what was that like for you? Like all the other kids are like picking their noses and playing Pokemon.
Well, it's because the reason I was like that was because of the other kids. Because I was I was an annoying crybaby when I was young,
Mhm.
and that made me a really, really, really easy target for bullying.
Oh yeah, that's unfortunate.
And I remember in elementary school, at some point, literally everyone in the school knew me, and literally everyone in the school would avoid me because if you were seen with me, people would start saying that you were infected
Did you
with
have
me.
leprosy?
Something like that, apparently.
Jesus
And
Christ!
you had to like use disinfectant and
So you had the cheese
practice
touch.
social distancing. I've
Yeah.
been doing it since way before it was cool.
It's like one of those things where you get into anime before everyone else likes anime, and then all of a sudden everyone likes anime, and you're just like, "What the fuck? I tried to get you guys on this shit." But
Yeah, basically.
so you
But
might so what you were basically just an AIDS survivor in the early '60s.
yeah,
That's intense, man.
yeah, and I have one story that to me like back then it wasn't funny, but right now like I can't fucking help but laugh when I think back to it. But at some
Yeah.
point, one of the kids just decided that he'd bring a fuck ton of broccoli to school and just give a little bit of it to everyone and just tell them to throw it at me. And
What?
so, and so for a whole day, people were throwing broccoli at me.
Maybe they thought you liked broccoli. Maybe they secretly loved you.
Yes, I could feel the love in the broccoli
And the
I
broccoli that was being
received
pelted at you.
that was being thrown in my general direction.
It's like
I got
you're.
one.
It's
I
like
got one in
you're.
my eyes. That was fun.
Oh yeah, having broccoli in your eyes is absolutely the worst. It's almost like you were a really bad actor in the middle of the street in like the Middle Ages, trying to like earn your wares as people throw rotten fruit at you.
Yeah,
Yeah. Do you
I was I was just trying to make them laugh. Why did they have to throw rotten tomatoes at me?
and everyone's just chanting, "Dance, monkey, dance, dance, monkey, dance." Dude,
uh,
that's terrible. That's insane, man. This was in Canada. Canada.
hmm?
This was in Canada.
Yeah.
Wow, Canadians are the worst. That's why they're always apologizing because they realize that they threw broccoli at one of their classmates when they were
Yeah, they,
8
they
years
just
old.
regret the broccoli way too much.
Yeah, like every time they bump into someone, they're just like, "Oh, you were probably someone that threw broccoli at. I'm so sorry." But dude, that
Uh,
sucks. I
it does, but at some point, I got used to it, and I mean, a lot of people get bullied in high school, and I didn't. Like the bullying stopped at some point because I just stopped reacting.
so it wasn't as fun to.
Yeah, I just at some point I just didn't have the energy to care, and for a long time, like so in Canada, there's no middle school. It's like well, actually, I don't know every part of Canada, but in Quebec specifically, there's no middle school.
Is
It's
it
elementary
just
school and then high school. years of elementary school and then 5 years of high school.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, and uh, like for the first like 3 years of high school, I was just like getting through it. I wasn't getting bullied anymore. I didn't have friends. I was just chilling,
Hmm.
you know.
You just sort of existed.
Yeah, I was just existing.
Hmm.
And then in the equivalent of ninth grade, I think. Well, I was fucking bored, obviously, and I found people like just playing poker in the chess club room,
Right.
and I just started going there like every day and just hanging out.
So,
And that was the first time like I actually had friends.
so your gambling
And
addiction
it
kept you from the brink of suicide. Yeah,
yes, yes.
that's good.
I remember it was fucking hilarious because there was one guy in that group of friends that was just insanely stupid.
How
Like
stupid.
it's hard because a lot of the stuff that made that like I'm having trouble with words right now.
It's
A
fine.
lot of the stuff that really like lets you realize how dumb he is like stuff that doesn't sound that bad to a non-French speaker.
So, so he's stupid in French, is what you're saying.
He was also stupid in English, but like it's his second language, so it's not as bad, right?
Well, you can translate it, right? Was it just he said stupid things, or
Well, he did, and he also believed stupid things, and he was also a hypocritical little bitch
those are
and a
always the
liar.
worst? Yeah.
I have examples of that. At some point, he said that he killed someone with a plank and a nail.
Which is obviously, hopefully, false.
Yeah, like quite obviously, no one believed
Well,
him.
also on
Or
top
like
of that,
many
like,
like
what makes him think that that's a cool thing to say? Like, oh, I've got to make these people like me. I know, I
edgy
murdered
teenagers,
someone.
man.
Yeah,
Edgy teenagers.
yeah.
It's fine.
In my head, how does he
And
justify like, oh wait, people don't hang out with me. What can I do to get people to hang out with me? Oh hey guys, one time I was hanging out with this guy and I fucking killed him. So what are you guys doing Saturday? Like, how does how does that go down in his head?
and I don't know. I don't know why he brought it up. I don't know how he brought it up. I just remember him saying it. And also at some point he was pretending to have a girlfriend, like you know the good old you wouldn't know
She
her. She
goes to a
goes to
different
another
school.
school.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And like somehow some people believed him. I was not convinced. And he made a fake Facebook account for her.
That's intense.
I know. But like it was so obvious it was him. And like I kind of feel bad for him because like I know he had a lot of stuff going on in his personal life. At the same time, he was really annoying
Yeah, I mean, you can
and
only be a
really dumb.
victim for so long before you become a perpetrator. Like,
Oh, I actually made a lot of money off of him because he was very like
gullible,
hmm?
gullible.
No, he was just I don't know the right word for it in English when you don't want to change your mind.
Stubborn.
Stubborn. Yeah, he was very stubborn, and so when he said something that was wrong, with which happened a lot because he was fucking dumb, I'd usually like tell him, I bet you $5 that's not true, and he'd always take me up for it. And at some point, he said something like about the plural form of a word in French, and I was like, that's not true. And he was like, well, it is. So I bet him $50 it wasn't true. And then he just had to give me $50 because he was too stubborn.
I'm surprised he
It
like
was
went along
hilarious.
with giving you the money and wasn't just like, oh no, I wasn't serious.
Oh, I reminded him of it for like 2 months
Oh, so
until at some
you
point.
were on his ass about it.
Oh yes, yes. I was like reminding him that I'd break his knees if he didn't do it. You know, real
Fit,
mafia style.
the rest of physical violence are always good ways to get your money back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are. I can attest to that. That is true.
I wish I could make fun of this guy, but if I'm being completely honest, he reminds me of me when I was younger. Cause like I pulled the same shit. I would like text girls that I liked. I'd be like, hey, hey, hey,
Also,
I'm
he
drunk. Hey, so do you like me? But like I didn't even know what alcohol was. Like,
did, just to give you context on what kind of person he is.
yeah.
The last thing I heard from him is that he showed up to like to his college with a fedora.
People like at least all right. So it's one thing to wear a fedora, and then it's a completely other thing to know what the stigma is about people who wear fedoras and
Oh, he
still
does.
think you
He
could pull it off.
he is like a very good representation of the stigma. But what was I saying before I started talking about this guy?
I honestly don't remember. I think we've been talking about him for like 8 minutes.
Right, right. I was talking about poker and like
Oh yeah.
when I was like 14 or 15, I started hanging out with these guys. And like it was my first like actual real human interaction, which made me
Wait,
realize that
your mom giving birth to you wasn't a real human interaction.
shut up. You know what I mean.
Okay, with people your own age, essentially.
like I'd talked to people my own age before, but it was the first time that I actually enjoyed it.
Right.
It was the first time that it felt like socializing and not just like school or like work or whatever.
Because you were able to make eye contact because your eyes weren't closed because you were trying to keep broccoli out of them,
Exactly,
which
yes.
helps. Yeah.
Well, I really hope this becomes a running joke. Mr. Brock. I want to be Mr. Broccoli Man.
I'll change your name in the.
No,
You don't want me to?
no.
Okay.
I have to stay dad. It's just
Yeah, it is
it
too iconic now.
it is. It's like if Away changed her name to something that isn't Away. Like
Yeah, like she could, as long as it has the words "away" in it, it's fine. But
it's
yeah,
fine. But me, it's 3 letters. You can't just change that.
yeah,
It's set in
because
stone.
I'm the father, but you're the dad. I had to stop calling myself
Yeah.
daddy in the server because it's
Is
just
it because of the minors?
the minors and also even the adults, man. I don't want them calling me daddy either. Like it was funny at
Is it
first.
because of
It
cabs?
was because of Cabs. I changed it immediately after Cabs tagged me, saying, "Daddy, look at what I've done." I was like, you know what? I don't think I like this, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't.
cabs is something. Have you talked about cabs in the previous
Uh,
podcasts?
Imogen and I did. Yeah, we talked about how he's like basically an annoying 8-year-old, and the fact that like you sort of like him, but he's still annoying. And I'm sure he
I
knows how we
mean,
feel about him.
yeah.
He's listening right now, I
Oh, okay.
assume.
To, hi,
Hi,
cabs.
Cabs.
You're probably still blocked on Discord. I'm sorry.
Did you block him?
I did. God, the server feels so much fucking nicer now.
But it must not make sense at all because he makes up 20% of the conversation.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. But like, it says blocked messages, and if there's something I don't understand, I can just show them.
Oh, that makes sense.
Is this an ASMR podcast
Yeah, so
now? I can't keep this up. My throat is fucked.
also I don't think the mics were picking me up at all.
Yeah, I was only hearing like half of it, but that may have been because of my Wi-Fi.
Mhm. Which defeats the entire point of ASMR. Like ASMR that you can't hear is basically just I don't know,
What does ASMR stand for?
audio sensory something something. That wasn't very helpful. Let me look it
Thank you.
up. ASMR acronym.
Autonomous sensory meridian response.
I was wrong about half of the words I provided, but not everyone has a response to ASMR, which is why like some people find it weird and some people find it
Do you?
relaxing. I sort of do, yeah.
I don't really.
Yeah, it's just
So I
like
don't.
it's sort of like hypnotism. It doesn't. It's not really based on anything. It just you either have a response or you don't.
Oh, it's like the what's it called? Wait, I'm looking it up real quick. The photic sneeze reflex.
Yeah, yeah. I talked about that actually in part three
Really?
of yeah King Please, yeah. But I didn't realize that was a thing until one of the people I interviewed said, yeah, like some
Yeah,
people
I
sneeze
have
by
it.
looking at the sun. Yeah. So how does that work?
It's just
And say
when
this as
I
slowly and as sensually
when there's a
as
bright
possible.
light, it
Mhm.
makes my nose feel like there's some not like there's something stuck, but it's like it like tickles the inside of my nose.
So when you die and go to heaven and you're in that tunnel, you're going to be sneezing a lot.
Both of you to assume I'm going to heaven.
Listen, I had to for the joke and only for the joke,
True,
but trust
true.
me, you are nowhere
I
near,
am
near the
not.
place.
Yeah, but it's not happening.
Heaven
What's
doesn't
that?
seem very fun.
I mean, how many versions do you get? I forget.
For Christians, just one. Mormons believe in three rings of heaven. Muslims, there's only one heaven, but you supposedly there's the virgins, but I don't know if that's a real thing. Catholics believe in heaven, hell, and limbo.
What do you think happens when
Uh,
you die?
I think our souls are recycled, which is. Do you ever get the impression that you've lived this life before? Not this life, but that you've been alive before?
Like reincarnation?
Yeah, but not directly, because reincarnation involves it's only your soul. Like reincarnation is basically you die, and then your one single soul is put into the fetus or egg of some other thing in the next life. Dog, cat, bug, human. What I like to think is that uh, we all whoever just dies within the next 5 seconds, all of their souls are just jumbled up into the great mixing pot of spirituality and afterlife and Anubis. You mix it all up, and then you take a ladle, spin it out, pour it into like the next human in a different like galaxy or universe or alternate reality or whoever knows, you know.
Mhm. That reminds me a lot of the Buddhism.
Yeah, Buddhists believe in reincarnation.
Yeah, because it's like
Um,
there's the fuck. I remember learning about this in I don't know what you'd call that class in English. It's a like ethics and religious
Humanities.
studies, I guess, class.
Okay.
And I think it was Buddhism. Maybe it wasn't though. Maybe it was Hinduism. No, it wasn't Hinduism. I'm pretty sure it was Buddhism. Anyways,
Well, what was it?
it was like life is like you can imagine like life as like a big ball of souls, and then
Mhm.
souls come out of it and they just go and live a life, and their goal is to go back to that ball, and
To
they
achieve nirvana.
yeah, exactly, they want to achieve nirvana, they want to like escape, they want to end their suffering and whatnot, and
Yeah.
as long as they don't, they get reincarnated over and over.
So
But it's like
I
your stuff, instead of like reincarnating as the same soul, it just goes back and like goes back in and then back out, right?
right.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
And I it's a nice concept and like it's definitely an intriguing aspect looking into like living a good life. But it also sort of defeats the entire point of being alive because what's the point of because the Buddhist ideal is you live a life free of worldly pleasure.
Hmm.
So if that's the point, what's the point of being in the world and continuing to be reincarnated to experience the world
Yeah, well,
if your
their goal is
entire
to
life's
not be
journey.
reincarnated, right?
Exactly, but like why be alive though?
Well, because they have to.
Right, but like it doesn't make
What can they
for
do
me it
about
doesn't
it?
make
What do you
sense.
mean?
Like if because you're alive, right?
Mm-hmm.
You emerge forth from this glowing ball of souls and you're born. And the moment you're born, your spiritual purpose is to never live again.
Yeah,
It's to like, yeah. Uh, so what's the point of being alive then? If your
there
entire
isn't a point to
purpose
being alive.
is that like the beauty of it that you have to
Yeah,
realize that. But
it's
if you
just
spend your life like if you're going to be alive, like let's say there's no point, right? Like there isn't much of a point. Um, but while you're still here, you might as well make a point of it. You might as well like eat good food, make friends, enjoy the sunlight. Like eat some
mhm.
nice fruit. Um, but if you're living your life avoiding that, like fasting,
Yeah, that sounds like
sticking, meditating, sticking to
that
all
sounds
this.
like existentialism. Life doesn't have a point, but so you might as well like there's no meaning to life, there's no inherent meaning to life, so might as well just give it one.
Nihilism and existentialism are sort of two sides of the same coin because you
I'm a
could be
huge fan of Albert Camus. The
a what?
He's a French philosopher, and he's like the only philosopher whose books I've actually read
Yeah,
because
it's difficult to get into all of them because there are
but
so many.
he also he wrote a few novels. I think it's novels. It's hard because like I don't call them by the English name usually. But I think it's novels, like short stories of like a few, like 1 or 200 pages.
Mhm. Novellas,
Hmm?
novellas.
Maybe.
Yeah, because a short story is like 20, 30 pages. A novella is like 100 to 200. A novel is like 300 plus.
Weird.
Yeah, why do we need so many words?
Yeah.
We're just calling them all
Just call them
books.
books. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, and he wrote among other things, he wrote The Myth of Sisyphus. He wrote um
Sisyphus was the dude with the border, right?
yeah, he's the dude that's been condemned to eternally push a boulder up a hill and fail.
And then
And
watch it roll back down,
yeah,
which is fucking hilarious.
yeah, uh,
Imagine that's your life.
and Camus compares the like the meaninglessness of of Sisyphus's life to our own
Mhm.
lives, but he says that you can just like instead of just seeing it as only being that, you can find fun in it, and you can and he like there's the famous quote: "One must imagine Sisyphus happy."
Yeah. Um, do you watch Pursuit of Wonder?
Did I watch what? Sorry,
Pursuit of Wonder.
no.
They're a really good YouTube channel that touches on stuff like this. I think you would like him a lot. But yeah, I think he mentioned something about like Sisyphus on the way up the hill as he rolls the boulder, looking at the flowers that grow on the side of the hill, like watching the sunshine, just the simple stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I get it, I guess, because life is sort of just a metaphorical boulder that you're just doing the same thing every day, basically. But sometimes you just become accustomed to misery. Like people who survive car crashes and end up being paralyzed from the waist down. Like yeah, it sucks at first. And, like we all never think that we can live paralyzed, but then eventually, you know, people do. You know, they pull it off. You know how my background in my videos is always super grainy.
Yes.
I realized why. Apparently, a year ago, I put a filter on my lens because back then I was shooting more often in the daylight, so I needed to make my camera lens darker, and I forgot to take it off,
That's hilarious.
and it's just been on this entire
You
time.
should keep it though.
Do you? I don't know. The grainy stuff is sort of distracting when you watch on anything bigger than your smartphone.
I mean, I watch on my laptop, and I think it gives it flavor.
Is it genuinely like a style, or is it
It
just a
feels like it.
mistake?
It feels like it. Yeah.
Do you click on my videos and think, oh, this was an intentional thing that Quinn decided to do?
Honestly, yeah. I thought it was intentional.
Then maybe I'll keep it. But I have a question for.
Yes.
Well, I hate when people do. I hate when people do that. Oh, I have a question for you.
I
Just
don't
ask me the
because
fucking question.
I don't because like I really suck at conversation, but I also really like it. So if you just say more words and take more time, that's gonna be good.
Say you like it when I like sort of nuzzle the little nub of your mind and warm it up
Yes.
a bit to yeah. Okay, you want some preparation.
Yes.
All right, prepare yourself for the question I'm about to ask you. Then.
Okay. Just give me a second.
Right.
All right, I'm ready.
Kumbaya. Okay. So, why did you decide to become a patron supporter?
Honestly, I thought that your videos were really it's not just like entertaining. It's something more than that. They felt they feel like engaging, I'd say.
Like,
And like on top of like the Discord community, I just
yeah,
I I I don't really know.
do you just feel loved when I when I talk about sneezes
It like
and I review porn?
it's not just like it's not the content really, it's more the shell. Like your your style, like your sense of humor and all that stuff, I think is really entertaining. And yeah.
Nice. Oh, so it's me. Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, I only like you for your videos though, so
Well, I mean, I'm in the videos, so nice insult there, buddy.
yeah, well, shut up, nerd.
I put my heart and soul into those videos, so you're in love with my heart
Shut
and
up,
my
nerd.
soul. Shut up, doofus. Sorry. Shut up with your muscular chin and your nice pecs and your smooth
Your
voice.
then your squinty eyes.
Yeah, and your maple syrup flavored breath all over my face.
Oh, this is getting weird. I don't mind it
Were
though.
you the one? Were you the one that I was in the call with, where we were both trying to like weird each other out in front of Away and Cabs?
Yep, and you just
Yeah.
gave up because I'm never gonna be like, that's too much for me.
Well, because you were enjoying it too much.
Yeah, it's because I honestly I don't I don't know how to explain it. It's like
You're really gay.
I honestly I wish I was gay. I have a fuck ton of really good looking and really like smart and nice gay friends.
And you wish that they could be like options for you
Yeah,
romantically.
for,
Yeah.
oh, I really do like. Okay, why is everyone in my choir gay?
Because they're in choir.
True, that's a
That's
good.
like asking that's like asking why are all the guys in my ballet class gay or football players, but mostly gay? It's because
Yeah,
it's ballet.
that's
Wait, you're in choir?
I am. Yeah,
Oh, how's that?
I
Wait,
mean,
are you in university?
I mean, it's been a while since I've been, but yeah,
Oh, okay. Yeah. I keep forgetting that people go to college.
true.
I think I went for well, I didn't even go. I I attended college classes that were hosted on a military base in like an educational center,
Okay.
but it was like basically 30 to 40 year olds and I was the only actual college age
Hmm.
student, so it wasn't an actual college experience,
Yeah.
which I still want to have, but I feel like it's too late now.
Huh, it's never too late. One of the people in. How old are you?
258 months.
Don't make me do math.
I'm 21.
Okay, like one of the people in my choir is 24.
Yeah, I guess that's not too bad. But
My
like
mom like went back to school when she was 50.
yeah, but you're not going to be 50 years old getting along with all the 19 and 20-year olds, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you got to hurry up before you don't get along with them anymore.
That's fair. But I am planning on going back to college, but
Do you know
it's probably
what
going
you're
to
gonna
be
study?
yeah, stenography, which is court reporting, the people who type up what happens in
Yeah,
court. Yeah.
I
So how would you
surprisingly
describe it
know what
as?
stenography is, but
Not.
that's
It's one
really
of those like
cool.
random buzzwords. Yeah, like I feel like it's one of those jobs where it's like a real job, but it's still entertaining. Did that make sense?
Yeah, because you just see so much shit.
Yeah, because even if it's not murder or anything of that caliber, it's still just a bunch of people who have to show up to court and like
Honestly,
deal with the U.S. legal system.
I would love to like just assist a fuck ton of divorce hearings.
I derive a great deal of enjoyment from watching people's lives fall apart right in front of me in real time. So being in the courtroom is definitely my jam.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and I know enough to know that it's not gonna be glamorous or anything. Like courtrooms are depressing. Uh,
Yeah.
but I don't know. Like I like
I mean, what
unique
isn't?
things. That's fair. But yeah, that's basically my plan because I don't think YouTube as a platform is going to last very long, and I don't think I as a YouTuber am going to last very long.
What do
Or
you?
like
Why not?
my type of content isn't
Yeah, that's true. You're
like
gonna get Susan.
readily accessible.
You are gonna
Yeah,
get Susan.
yeah, for sure. I like unless I start making somehow like just as entertaining but more family friendly stuff. I don't
Hmm.
know how I would like get around doing that. But
I mean, to be
yeah,
honest, like if you actually do like pop off and become way more popular, you just get sponsors and fuck the YouTube monetization shit.
algorithm. Honestly, if I did end up becoming more popular, I would stick with it. It's weird because like as my channel quote unquote blew up, I sort of came face to face with the realization that this shit is difficult.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, because before Jax Films made that video about me, I had 550 subscribers.
Hmm.
And I was hoping, and I think that was March. And at that time, I was hoping that I would get 1,000 by the end of the year. Like that was my goal in
Hmm.
9 months to double my subscribers. But now I have 9,000. And I'm thinking, oh shit, to get to 10,000, I just need the exact number that I was trying to hope to get by the end of this year. But even then, 10,000 isn't like a lot in the grand scheme of making a living off the platform.
Hmm.
And then I look at my some of my favorite YouTubers who have like 100,000 for Swell Entertainment, not Amanda, Lauren Brodoff, and they still have jobs outside of YouTube, and like they get sponsored, but still you can't really make it as a 200, 300,000 subscriber platform. And it's
Hmm.
just crazy to realize how many people you actually need to support yourself with just YouTube. And I don't want to rely on that. Like I think, but at the same time, maybe me not relying on that is me losing the opportunity to completely rely on that. So it's a weird uh, tug of war of ambition and realism.
Hmm. I'm not sure what to say. I'm not a podcast man.
Says the guy who spoke pretty well for the last hour or so. But yeah, I was thinking we could wrap it up fairly soon anyway. I think we reached an hour.
Really?
Yeah, and I really thought these would be shorter, but look at
I
me, I'm
mean,
just an open
I am just
conversation.
that interesting, you know.
Yeah, I mean, we're both just that interesting, man.
I mean, sure.
Dude, Cabs is gonna be on the next episode of this
Oh
bullshit.
God.
That's gonna be a 2 hour special. But yeah, do you want to plug anything,
you're
or
gonna stop him after 2 hours?
I should probably stop him sooner. I just like manually turn off my Wi-Fi.
Yeah, just like cabs. Oh, I can't hear you. What?
I'm going through a tunnel,
Hello?
Cabs. I'm having someone build a tunnel around me so that I can go through it. But do you have anything you want to plug? By the way, probably should have said this sooner.
Actually, I do.
Yeah.
There's this thing called Patreon, and um, if you go to depress. Wait. Patreon. Fuck. What's the link? Is it
Patreon.com.
patreon.com/depressed laughter? You can pledge however much money you want. There is multiple tiers.
Oh, stop it,
Um,
you! I'm gonna suck your dick. But which is one of the tiers now. But
is it?
no. But I did change the tiers around recently. If
Oh,
you so $1 is general. You know, you get the posts from Patreon. Uh, $3 is you get bloopers, behind the scenes footage. $5 is you get early access. $10, which Alexi is at, is you get like a special Patreon only video uh, that wasn't good enough for YouTube, essentially. Which is good to know that
they're
you're.
still entertaining.
I'm glad you think so, but $20 is now like I write you a letter and I mail it to you,
Pretty
and
cool.
yeah, and $50 is I just mail you some random bullshit around my house, like a book or a statue or some trail mix, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
so
I can see that there is still the godly three
oh,
thousand
yeah.
dollar tier
I forgot about
where
that.
where you just beat me near to death.
Yes, there is a $3,000 tier, which is mostly a meme. I don't expect anyone to buy it. But if for some reason anyone does, I will legitimately buy a plane ticket, rent an Airbnb, show up outside your front door, and punch you in the face. Uh, and my legal team will cover me on that one.
Yeah, that honestly sounds like a dream come true.
Well, once you make a career off that choir and exploit those gay people, come hit me up. But yeah, I aside from my own Patreon, was there anything you wanted to plug?
No, not really.
All right. Well, in that case, Black Lives Matter. Don't sexually assault people, and if you know anyone who has sexually assaulted someone, kick their ass and support your local victims. That came out weird, but support rape victims essentially. What else have we
Yeah.
got? Yeah.
Uh,
Those in, oh, believe that coronavirus exists. There we go. That's the third one.
wait,
um,
are there people who don't?
in America, yeah,
Yeah, okay, I guess that's America. Sorry, I'm
it's a
ca-
hellhole to live
I'm still Canadian. I just said sorry, I'm Canadian.
in. Which is the most Canadian sentence. All right. See you guys later.